you're saying that invariably that Tinubu's possibility of becoming or being re-elected in 2027
Yes.
is incumbent on the opposition fielding the same candidate from the same zone. But that if the opposition wants to beat Tinubu and the APC,
yes,
the candidate must come from the opposite zone.
Absolutely. And I'll give you the reason. In 2019, the opposition wanted to use Atiku with Obi to beat an incumbent Northerner who had just done 4 years. Did they succeed? No, they failed. And what happened? Tinubu, strategically, in 2015, he used a Northerner to remove an incumbent Southerner. Did he succeed? Yes. Because that is
he conceding to the fact that the North has a more political weight in the power game?
No. Let's look at it this way. Somebody from your zone, if you listen to Olufalaye said his election was rigged. But immediately the people rigged him out. They prevailed on him that he is a fellow Yoruba person that he contested with. Why not let him leave it? We have not had a good electoral system. This election is going to be written, like I've always told you, in 2027. They have already prepared it. Have they done electoral? Yes, have they done.
Do you have evidence to that?
No, I told you 2023 there was technical glitch, and they have not given us the excuse till today. Technical glitch, by my own definition, is the process of suspending an election so that you can write it instead of transmitting it. And there is no assurance that it will not have in 2027.
If you say
so
that
if they write
the
2027 and is a fellow Southerner that you're competing with, they will prevail on you. Please leave him. He's your fellow Southerner. And then that is how they will steal the election. So if you bring somebody from the Southeast, even if you win, they will steal it from him. Let me tell you the strategy that will make the Southeast man to be president. Do you know the Southwest has never contested election against an incumbent? Strategy. Because they know in Nigeria, if you don't have the establishment supporting you, even if you win, they will steal it from you. Olufalaye said it was stolen from him. If you ask me, I will say we won the election in 2023. It was stolen from us because we didn't have.
Peter Obi won the election.
That's my belief. In 2023, I believe it. But they stole it from us.
Let me ask
you.
And
if you do it again, they will steal it again from you because there is no incumbent to back you. But if you bring somebody from the North, nobody will prevail on him to leave his victory
quickly.
Because, yes, because he's not from the same side with you.
Yeah, quickly. How do you then tell Nigerians that the ruling party has said, these people are spent. They've been in power. What new thing do they want to bring? How do they defend the failures of the past government, which they were part of? Some past governors, past ministers. How do you defend that the failures of this country in the past, you are coming and you say you want to redeem it? Would Nigerians believe the coalition and some of the elements in it?
Okay, let me give you an example. The worst of PDP now has become better than the best of APC. Assuming you talk about an article, if he can take us to Obasanjo days, are we not going to celebrate? Assuming. Because the performance of APC has beatified. PDP has beatified. Whoever served, for instance, in Obasanjo's government, they paid off all our debts. You remember? And we were not owing. APC has borrowed Nigeria into about 177 trillion naira in debt without nothing to show for it. We are enjoying darkness, not light.
Kenneth Okonkwo just dropped a bombshell. I mean, another bombshell. It's like this week is, and it says that, Kenneth Okonkwo just dropped a bombshell that the 2023 election was rigged, which is widely confirmed and known, and that the 2027 election will be rigged or stolen if Peter Obi is the one that contests against Bola Tinubu. And the North will do nothing because they'll say you're from the same southern region. Go sort it out yourself. Do you think that's what's going to happen? Because all indication points to the fact that all the plans, you see all these defections happening, is pointing to the fact that they want to rig the election, but they need the governors to be in on it. So that's why they've been pushing them to, defect to the APC so that rigging process will be easy. That's what the assertion has always been anyway. So Kenneth Okonkwo is saying that Nigeria 2027 election will be rigged as long as Peter Obi is the contestant and is contesting against Bola Tinubu. they will rig the election just exactly the same way they rigged the 2023 election, because they are from the same southern region in Nigeria. And he also said that because it appears to be that Kenneth Okonkwo has already chosen the side he's supporting in 2027. And it looks like it's going to be Atiku. And what I disagree vehemently with Kenneth Okonkwo is that we should go back to the Obasanjo days. No, we cannot go back to Obasanjo's days. We cannot go to the day where tyranny and impunity of corruption carried on like nothing happened. You see, this idea, this Stockholm syndrome that we have in our country, where we're always looking back to go back to our abusers. We're trying to run away from corruption. We're trying to run away from the same old people who put Nigeria into this place where we are right now. This mess of north-south, north-side political divide, and you go for 8 years for power and come back and we'll get it back as well again, is what put Nigeria into this place. If Nigeria was initially designed to be about competence, where it doesn't matter whether or not you're from the north, south, east, or west, as long as you're competent enough to do the job, and the constitution mattered, and if you're corrupt, you're jailed, all of this would not be happening. That's what Kenneth Okonkwo wants us to go to again. All in the name of wrestling power from Bola Tinubu. We will wrestle this power from Bola Tinubu. Nigerians will gather en masse, vote en masse, and defend their vote en masse, and Bola Tinubu will be defeated. But we're not going to go back to a man who will be turning 80 years, but that time, 80 years in 2027, to be the one to give us salvation. He's tired at that time. He can barely move right now. And you're telling us to go back to Atiku. Is Nigeria's presidency, is it a care room? Is it one place where retirees go to pass the rest of their life and then they will not put Nigeria in more trouble? What sort of nonsense is this? Kenneth Okonkwo has a very sound mind. But sometimes when you look at their takes politically, you just realize that it doesn't make any sense. How are you asking us to go back to the days of Obasanjo? Obasanjo is the same Obasanjo that wanted to do a third term until certain people kicked against it. Yes, Obasanjo paid our debt, yes, but corruption was there. Obasanjo paid our debt, corruption was there. Because Obasanjo brought GSM, corruption was there. There are a lot of things you want to say Obasanjo did, but a lot of corruption, impunity. It's the same Obasanjo because of Tinubu will not bow. He seized Lagos State's fund. Corruption was there. Constitution was not respected. You can't tell us to go back to what we're running away from. You remember the story of Israel when they left Egypt. For those who understand, knows that story. When they left Egypt, they got to a plate and they got stuck. They wanted to go back to Egypt because they remembered the meat they used to eat in Egypt. That's exactly what Kenneth Okonkwo was asking us, to go back to where we're coming from, because we used to have meat there. We're running away from corruption. The same politicians who put us in this corruption we're trying to run away from, you're telling us to go back to that then, because APC has shown to be worse than that Obasanjo's time. It was because of the corruption of the PDP. That's why Nigerians wanted them out. They want us to go back to them again. Are we not going to be tired of our abusers? Are you not really tired? It doesn't matter whether or not Peter Obi and Bola Tinubu are from the same southern region. This time, Nigerians will come out en masse. This time, Nigerians will defeat APC. This time, Nigeria will defend their vote. And there's nothing Bola Tinubu can do about it. In 2027, no, people have suffered enough. And they've had enough of a government that is failed woefully. Nigeria, under this APC government, has borrowed so much we cannot say anything visible about it. With Buhari and Bola Tinubu together borrowed so much. If you ask them, what did you do with the money? We can't see it. So you cannot tell us to go back to where we're coming from. You cannot tell us to go back to a place where we've come from, where we're running away from corruption. It was the corruption of the PDP that gave birth to APC. The same PDP people gave birth to APC, part of them. And it's the same corruption they carried on. You want us to go back to the same people who will continue to trample Nigerians whenever they speak up, that decided, and they say they want good leadership, that desire good leadership, equitable Nigerian, egalitarian society. You want us to go back there where journalists were jailed when they speak up. Why would we go back? All in the name of wrestling power from Bola Tinubu. We will wrestle this power from Bola Tinubu. We will galvanize Nigerians. We will sensitize Nigerians. And by 2027, by God's grace, Tinubu will be defeated. And Nigeria will go into the hands of the right people who will steer it in the right direction. God helping us. Because what we have from this government is not a government. This is a catastrophe. So again, like I said earlier, Kenneth Okonkwo said, 2027 election will be rigged as APC rigged 2023 election. As long as Peter Obi is the one contesting against Bola Tinubu, they'll rig the election in 2027. Do you agree with him? Do you think because he doesn't have the political godfather, the elite, to protect his vote, that's what is going to happen? Already, INEC is already shown to be against Nigeria anyway. And obviously, other government parastatals, the police, the military, they will use as well again. But I'm guessing this time, the police have learned their lesson, and the army, knowing that if they take sides with an incompetent government, they will suffer it. So we need to do our own job of, sensitize them so that they know that election have consequences. And if they don't do the right thing, they too will suffer for it. So let us know in the comment section what you think. Let's have our deliberation, our chance. If you think this is what's going to happen, let's know. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also recommend this channel to others. I'll catch you up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.